Hi, I'm Craig Ward. Pastor Steve asked me to tell you my story. So in January of '08, I had an infection in my leg and my arm, and I went to the emergency room. And on that day, I had been healthy up to that, and on that day, after about a day in there, they came up to me and they said, Craig, you've got leukemia, or we suspect you got leukemia. We're going to transfer you over to Michigan, or University of Michigan Hospital. So they loaded me up in an ambulance, and Penny was with me, and they transferred me to U of M, and lo and behold, I was diagnosed with leukemia, and not just leukemia, AML or ALL, but I had both AML and ALL, which they call biphenotypic. So the first, that was January 26th, so the first 12 or 15 days, they were fighting the infection. So if I could survive getting the infection out of my body, then they could start the chemotherapy to put the leukemia in remission. So I spent about 35 days in the hospital, and they were able to successfully treat the infection, and then they gave me chemo, and I was in remission. So the interesting part of the story is I've always been a pretty good athlete, and so I always took the theory that, I twist my ankle, tape it up, what I have to do to get it fixed, and I'm going to get back out on the playing field. So when Penny and I went to the doctor for the first time to talk about the leukemia and how they were going to treat it, we both went in there thinking, because they had mentioned that possibly a bone marrow transplant, I should be thinking about a bone marrow transplant or a stem cell transplant. And so we went in there thinking, well, let's see what the odds are. Let's see if I get the bone marrow transplant, it's 100% cured, and if I don't get the bone marrow transplant, it's 60% or 50% or something. So we went in, and the doctor, Penny was sitting right beside me, and the doctor said, if you don't get the transplant, you will not live. And so if you do get the transplant, if you survive the first 100 days, you have a 25% chance of living. And so, needless to say, we were both, I felt like passing out. She looked like she was going to pass out. It was never in my life would I ever want someone to hear that. And so then we began the process of finding a donor. Both my brother and my sister went in, and they were a 5% match, and so this was in March, and by the end of March, and so obviously we said, okay, well, we should probably do the bone marrow transplant or the stem cell transplant. And so by the end of March, they had located 4 perfect 10 matches, and 2 in the United States, 2 outside of the United States, and then they kept going out the criteria, and what they came up with was a perfect 10 match and further, and it was a young man, 25 years old, from Twist, Germany, from overseas. And so to me, that's somebody's hand was in that. And so I had to go back in for some more treatment in April, and then the bone marrow transplant was set to be done in June. And so on June 7th, this young man that I don't know yet, I still don't know, I mean, I tried to contact him, but he gave me his stem cells. And so I was given a stem cell transplant. And basically, the stem cell transplant works like this. They bring you into the hospital and they radiate your body for 3 days, basically kill everything inside your body. And then they give you chemo that kills everything in your body, and you're basically at the end. I mean, you're at the end point, and they stick a needle in your arm, and 45 minutes later they hand you a card that says, "Hey, congratulations, this is your new blood type," and off they walk. And so there's no pain involved. I never felt sick in my entire stay there. I mean, often people say to me, "You were very, very sick," and I go, "No, I wasn't. I never felt really sick." And they say, "You must have really went through a lot of it," and I don't think. I mean, it was obviously a big deal, but it was harder on the other people outside of my life, like my wife and my family, because they had to travel, and I was just there. So, but and this is where I gotta get choked up, but I'll never forget the doctor, and this is my favorite story. He kept saying, if you survive, and this is going to be tough, and blah 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 blah, and Penny she'll verify this story. They're handing you, fill these disability papers out and do this, and get your papers in order, get your life in order, because you may not, there's a good possibility you're not going to survive this. And so I remember that I finally had enough of it. I mean, they were constantly battering you with that, preparing me, I guess, for what was in, that's their job. They don't want to. I don't want to put any candy in it, okay? And finally I said, "Hey, I'll tell you what." And I pulled my phone out and I said, "Here's my contact list. You dial up one of those numbers and you talk to anybody on my list and you ask them if they think I won't survive." And I finally said, "Hey, you do your job and I'll do my job. Because, I know I've got somebody up there that's going to help me out." And so that's how it works. And so, I think for me, having a great support team, and then, having my wife and my family, my friends, and my God, that's why I'm here, I think. So, and also, I'm too stubborn. I'm doggone stubborn. I mean, I've got too much to do yet, and I still say this to Penny. I'm here for a reason, and I haven't figured it out yet. I know he's going to show me what my reason is. I know he's got plans for me, and I know he's going to show me. I wake up every morning, I go, what am I supposed to do now? Because I know I'm here for something. I know I have a reason, and I think, Steve, you've said it. A lot of people say this to me. You must have a new light, a different look on life, and most people that know me know that I always look at life. Every day is a gift, and I think I looked at it that way before I got sick, and maybe so now. I still look at it that way, but I also look at it the fact that I'm here to do something good, and or to continue doing good things, and so that's how I kind of roll, and that's how my family rolls with me, and they know that, and that's kind of the way it works with us, and I'm certainly blessed. It seemed like such a short time for me. It was a year. I got sick in January, and I didn't work for almost a year. And there was a time when we couldn't leave the area because of the possibilities of infections and stuff. And so Penny and I lived together for 45 days. She could never leave my side for 15 minutes. And so I'm going to tell you something. When you live with your wife for 45 days and they never leave your side, and I had lots to do because I was still working from my computer. I was working from my computer in my hospital bed, but I had things to do, and she had not anything to do. And so, it's one thing that taught me is when you're in a position where you really are needful, you realize that you picked the right person in life to spend life with.